What is going on, everyone? Riddick here. The Halloween Ends trailer has dropped. I have watched it a few times, and I'm going to give you my first initial thoughts on it, and maybe piece together some things that we've already known about this movie, and might be figuring something out in this video. So first things first, I want to say when the trailer opens, it comes in, it's real slow, takes its time. We come up on a house, which ironically enough kind of looks like a house from Halloween 4. Even the lighting and stuff kind of gives it that vibe. But we go in the house from a POV shot of the killer, or assuming is Michael Myers. And the first thing right out of the gate that you'll notice, that I noticed immediately, is when Michael opens the door, you can actually see 4 fingers on his hand. And it's not a reverse shot. People probably thinking, oh, maybe it's a reverse shot like they do in some trailers, but it's not, or else you would have seen the burnt side of the mask, right? Because if it was flipped, you would see the burned side of the mask. So it's definitely not a flipped shot. Pushes the door open, you can see all 4 fingers, and we know Michael's missing a couple fingers on that hand. So right there, you're like, what's going on here? But we'll get to that. So of course, Laurie's on the other side, she's got a gun, and then it goes black. And then we see some quick cuts of some action, some actors we've never seen before. Michael stalking a few women that we haven't seen before. We do see Hawkins running around a little bit. We see Allison running around a little bit. So we know they're in the movie. And then we get to the action sequence, I guess you would say, at the end of the trailer where Laurie's fighting Michael and they get into it. Of course, we see like little intercuts of 1978 Halloween with this at the same time, and Halloween 2018 and Halloween Kills all kind of intertwined in there. And then at the end, Laurie stabs Michael through the hand, which is missing 2 fingers, okay? Now, one thing I want to do for you guys that is something I think people are overlooking is the actual plot synopsis is below the trailer on the Universal Pictures page on YouTube. The synopsis is there. I'm going to read it to you because there's some key information here that we're going to take a look at, and as relates to the trailer and as relates to some things we've known about this movie in the past, information that's come out. 4 years after the events of last year's Halloween Kills, Laurie is living with her granddaughter Allison and is finishing writing her memoir. Michael Myers hasn't been seen since. Laurie, after allowing the specter of Michael to determine and drive her reality for decades, has decided to liberate herself from fear and rage and embrace life. But when a young man, Corey Cunningham, is accused of killing a boy he was babysitting, it ignites a cascade of violence and terror that will force Laurie to finally confront the evil she can't control once and for all. Now, here's the thing. I'm going to take it back a ways to when this movie was discussed and there was some information that came out about, David Gordon Green going to John Carpenter and asking him, is this too Christine? Meaning John Carpenter's Christine, the movie, right? Well, if we think about this, in the trailer, you have the hand opening the door, has all 4 fingers. This dude, Corey Cunningham, I do believe is in the trailer. He's the one that's down there in the sewers or cave, cave dweller was what this movie was, titled when they were filming, right? Well, maybe he's the one that's down there, and finds, Michael or whatever's going on there. Anyway, the reason I say this is because perhaps he's sort of copycatting Michael, but I'm going to give it to you in a different way. They said about the Christine vibes that we've known about, They even went to Carpenter, asked, is this too Christine? But he loved it. Carpenter loved it, so... In Christine, you have Arnie Cunningham and his car. What if it's Corey Cunningham and his Michael? Now, they said this movie, Christopher Nelson has said this movie is weird and different. Christopher Nelson, the makeup effects artist on the movie. And of course, John Carpenter and Nick Castle even has said, this movie's different than the norm. It's a departure. Again, Chris Nelson said it's weird and different. Well, think about it. if we're doing like a Corey and his Michael type story that's kind of, in the same vein as Arnie and his car, that would be weird. That would be different. And quite frankly, might anger some fans, which Jamie Lee herself has said this movie's going to anger fans, so. Anyway, it's just speculation, but when we take all those little pieces and put them together, I'm getting the vibe that it might be, a Corey and his Michael kind of thing, which, may not go his way. It may go completely south, or it may go a whole different way where he ends up, who knows. But aside from all that, right out of the gate, the first couple times I watched the trailer, that's kind of like where my mind went. Just because I was thinking, I've always thought about when they mentioned it being very Christine-like, because I love Christine, absolutely love that movie. We're going to review that at some point here on the channel for sure. But when they said that, it stuck with me, and it has always stuck with me, and I haven't been able to get it out of my head, like, how in the world could this movie be, Christine-like? It just baffled me until now, okay? Until now. Reading that plot synopsis, factoring in the Corey Cunningham character, and then thinking about, seeing the character that has all four fingers dressed as Michael and things like that happening there in the trailer. I just had like this epiphany that, man, maybe, Arnie in his car, Corey and his Michael. I know. People are really going to be, it's going to be very divisive. May not even be divisive. May just be straight, fuck this bullshit, right? All I know is I'm open to seeing how it goes and how it plays out. But I really feel like that may be where we're going. And that may be why we're being told that it's weird and it's different and it's a departure and clearly very character driven, right? So, but as the trailer, as far as the trailer goes, it very much interests me, and I'm looking forward to seeing how this movie plays out. I liked how the trailer didn't give away really anything, and still I was able to kind of see those little aspects in the trailer after tying together the other little things that we know. And so, but yeah, the trailer doesn't leave it just doesn't say anything really. There's pretty much nothing there, which for all the other trailers we've gotten with kills and 2018 and stuff, pretty much showing the whole movie in the trailers, it's nice to see that they're keeping it really tight, a really tight ship. They've managed to keep it a tight ship this whole time, except for those little tidbits. So, yeah, I mean, there's not much there to go on, but what I saw, I definitely like. And yeah, so I just wanted to throw that out there. I'm sure other people are going to be talking about it as usual. People that are way bigger than my little ass on here. But yeah, Arnie Cunningham, Corey Cunningham, Arnie in his car, Corey and his Michael, the Christine themes, weird, different. The radio towers somehow involved in this. Like, what does that have to do with anything? We don't even know yet. But just, yeah, have that dwell in your brain a little bit and think about that. So, yeah, with that said, we'll catch you all down the road.